A building with a cross on top, what is that? It's a gathering place where decent, wholesome people come together and they share values protected by that American flag. It could be said that that beautiful building flanked by those arches signifies more or less the same thing. It doesn't just say delicious hamburgers inside. They signify family. It signifies community. It's a place where Americans come together to break bread. I am telling you, McDonald's can be the new American church.
And that was a scene from The Founder, starring Michael Keaton as Ray Kroc, the Illinois salesman who, when he first saw the McDonald Brothers assembly line burger operation in 1950s California, immediately understood its huge franchise potential. But was he a hero or a villain? Here to discuss the film is the director, Lee Hancock. John, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
What a fascinating film. The title is the first clue that perhaps Ray is not all he may appear to be to the casual observer. Is that right?
Yeah, it's intentionally misleading, I would say.
As he was,
yes.
We find out.
Yes.
So interesting that he was not the founder. The McDonald brothers were, but he had the vision to make it into the franchise.
Right.
In some ways, their relationship, though, is very central to the film and how it evolves.
I agree completely. I mean, depends on what your definition of founder is, the person who creates or the person who expands.
Right. So many critics have said this film is sort of the ideal film for this moment as we're moving into a Trump administration. Would you agree?
I mean, I can see some parallels. Obviously, when I first read the script and when we made the movie, Donald Trump was just a businessman in New York. Sure. So, you know, you tend to always look through a current contemporary lens when you see a movie, because a lot of times period movies say more about the period that they're shot in rather than the period they depict.
Right. Now, it's so interesting because you start off watching this film really rooting for Ray. You see him as a sort of down and out road salesman, you know, listening to motivational records alone in his hotel room, and you really want him to make good. And then as the film evolves, and he does start to make good, you like him less and less.
Yeah, that's what I really loved about Robert Siegel's script, was that I had a strong rooting interest until suddenly I didn't anymore.
That's right.
It's on a Death of a Salesman with a different ending. Willie Loman takes over the world.
Absolutely, and I would imagine, as an actor, that's really what appealed to Michael Keaton. Did he talk to you about what you liked about him?
We had many discussions about exactly how to modulate, if you will, as you go through, to keep everybody kind of on their heels a bit.
Right, where you're going to go. Now, being the brilliant actor that he is, were there sort of decisions and insights he had about the character that maybe influenced the course of filming in any way?
Almost every day you're going to have, when you've got someone like Michael Keaton, I mean, we had many discussions about things, and we knew the general journey and the specific journey in terms of the script and what we were doing, but every day he's going to surprise you with something, and if you don't learn from that, you're being foolish.
That must have been fun for you as a director,
it's a blast.
right?
It's the best.
What was the environment on set like?
I like an easygoing set, hardworking people, smiles on their faces. I mean, Clint Eastwood was my mentor, so I try my best to emulate kind of what he does on a set.
Right. Now, you read a little bit about your history. Was there anything about Ray Kroc that you identified with? Because in some ways you both reinvented yourself. You used to be a lawyer, I understand, before you became a filmmaker. Ray sort of reinvented himself as well. Did you have any...
There's a lot to admire about Ray Kroc. Everybody who ever met him said he was the hardest working person they'd ever met. And he had a dream, and he went after it, and he had vision. So there's a lot to like about Ray Kroc. I mean, there's some things maybe not so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so interesting. I really do think each individual will come away from this film with a different opinion about Ray Kroc, how they felt about what he did and how he grew the company, or did he, you know, leave the McDonald's brothers in the dust? Was he unfair to them? That's for everyone to debate. But I understand that you also have a film in the works about Lenny Dykstra, the Mets outfielder? They
have rights to Lenny's story, his life rights and stuff.
Right.
So nothing's happened with it yet. But we're, you know, as I told Lenny, it's like there's a whole other act you have yet to live.
Absolutely.
So we'll figure it out.
We had him in here when his book came out to talk about his book, and boy, is he a character.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He's a lot of fun. That's one movie I'd like to watch. Would he be involved in any way?
Oh yeah. And I'm sure he would. We don't even we have a script, but we haven't moved forward past there yet.
Right.
So we're it's in process.
It's in process.
Yes.
All right. Well, Lee Hancock, thank you so much for coming to see us. Congratulations on a great film.
Thanks, Tanya.